welcome to the Director Commentary with Jules and Monty. We're going to talk to you a little bit about episode 5. Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
And go. Evie did that makeup.
Evie, yeah. Black eye makeup.
Yeah, I'm not really a makeup artist, but I have to say that black eye is, I'm kind of proud of it.
I don't remember too much from last night, but when I was refreshing my memory with the camera...
Also, like, the lighting just took a huge step forward in this episode. Like, look at that, it's great.
Moment of glory.
But funny thing, we filmed this on the same day.
That's true, weird, forgot about that. Whoops.
So this is the interaction we were talking about earlier with Ben, where he has the moment of, about calling Jules a piece of meat. So listen up for that. I like that moment.
No, you don't.
This is also the source of the laser fireworks. If you look, the lasers kind of come together in these clumps and then burst out, and it was really lovely for Jules and Monty to be surrounded by that and to give their meeting that extra feeling of passion and of excitement.
It's just such lovely little, like, fairies almost. It's beautiful and simple and nice, and I like it.
The way we wrote this is that we had the dialogue overlapping, so you have the conversation over here, modern text between the two of them where they're freaking out, and then the Shakespearean text from the original scene over in the corner. And it was actually really hard because we could barely hear one another across the room, so it gets off a couple of times, but I think the effect is there.
Also, I think it's worth mentioning that I was really nervous and the timing kind of threw me, and so I kept messing up my lines, and my go-to whenever I fucked up my line was just kiss Imogen.
Hey, it works.
It did.
I also think it's worth noting that in one particularly amusing line flub, the line is, "Oh, trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again." And Ed's replacement in a moment of nerves or some, a brain lapse was, "Oh, tender, sweet urgency."
Will you walk?
We have still not let go.
From laughing, which he was completely in the right to do after me saying that. I just had to, like, oh my god, I was like, shut up, against the wall.
Also, look at how much glitter is on Andy's face. Whoa.
It's actually
I
hilarious.
love this angle. Ben did a really great job because it makes Andy look larger than life and so intimidating.
I also love the camera glitches. They come up more later, but that one's just a feedback type of deal. But I think they get more sophisticated and more nuanced later, where the camera's dropped and it glitches a couple of times. I think there's one, when Cliff and Nancy come bursting into their room, and then one later when Nancy punches Monty. Also stairwell.
This stairwell conversation was actually a lot longer originally. You get to hear Rose really push back, but because the stairwell had such a horrible sound issue, we cut it down, and I think it has the same effect.
Yeah, it was really, it does have the effect that we needed, but it was a cool scene, and it sucks that we had to cut it, but it was it was impossible to film in a location like that. So don't write scenes in stairwells is the takeaway.
This is our second reshoot.
This was actually the absolute last thing that we filmed. This was after all the initial filming was done. This was the last thing we reshot.
We try to hide it, but you can tell that it is winter, and it was not winter 10 minutes ago.
I mean,
that's when the sound was just so awful. The first time we shot this, there was this horrible wind. The wrath of Thor was upon Jules and Monty. But it was such a shame to lose that take of the scene because it had this lovely, sunrise, sunset, something lighting.
It's just that girl from the party.
It just, gave him this beautiful glow. And I mean, this is still beautiful, but yes, it is snowing, and it's just...
Whom I loved, grace for grace, and love for love.
Yeah, that's the other thing about filming a web series in Boston, is you're basically never going to have any control over what season you want it to be.
You will never be happy.
It will most likely always be in winter.
Fun fact, we are actually in Emma's room right now because Evie's in my room faces horrible tennis courts and did not have appealing view, so we came out here.
Oh shit.
I love that line.
So does the internet.
Hooray!
Just A+ to Ed on that monologue. I just love it. I know Emma would say, like, aesthetically the other one was nicer because we had like this nice like kind of mid-afternoon sunset type feel, but it just gets me every time.
The feels, all of the feels.
No, I still love it. I still think it's gorgeous. But I think it was one that, it's a shame to reshoot something, say, for sound when everything else was great, or even if if we had reshot something for lighting or blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah, no, in many ways, we kind of had to adjust to what we were doing. We're full-time students, so whatever we couldn't get done during the weekend, we had to figure out other times for, and that was one of those things that we knew was a problem very early on, but it kept kind of getting pushed aside because we had so many other things to film that we were always going, we could just use ADR, or no, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
nope, it's not an option.
What Imogen mentioned about us being full-time students, just if you guys didn't get it from the vlogs, or if you were wondering what our process was, it was basically waking up at 8 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, every Saturday and Sunday for almost 3 months.
And some Fridays.
And then Fridays, we also generally filmed from about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, sometimes going as late as 11 at night, lots of times ending between 8 and 11. We're also all theater people, so we had Monday through Thursday rehearsals 7 to 11, and then Sunday rehearsals during the day usually. So we really did have a hard time blocking out time to film everything that we had to do, and the fact that this was an 18-episode web series was very daunting going in. We also had Paul leaving for Italy once the semester changed, and we had Professor Montez Noe, who plays Friar Lawrence, went on sabbatical on research leave when the semester changed too. So we had time restrictions and we had acting restrictions, and it was just crazy. So a lot of the times, if you were like, why did they wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning all the time to film these? We did it because we had to, and that's why, for me, it's so nice to see how many people love this, just to see all of our hard work pay off, really.
Yeah, I think that the positive response has been way bigger than I expected. I thought we'd get a lot more like, it's okay. But to have people really connect to these characters and to enjoy this series just makes it all worth it. And really is amazingly validating as students and artists, because we learned so much from this whole process, and we hope to continue doing things, and now we feel like there is a support group out there who want to see work that we could create in the future.
Absolutely.
So
thank you. Massive thank yous continuing to pour out to everyone who has enjoyed the piece and who helped create it. There are 1,000,001 people on who don't necessarily show up on film or on the vlogs who, were a huge part of our process.
Even just as emotional support.
We needed some of that.
Who would put up with us for this entire process, like your neighbors.
The entirety of South Hall.
Who we kicked out when we were filming our stuff, and he was the best roommate ever and slept on the couch in the common room. Mad props to Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Mad props to everyone who was even remotely displaced or affected by this project.
Yeah.
Or who wanted to use the hand dryers.
Well, no, fuck those guys. That was just annoying.
I do hate the hand dryers.
This is an unnecessary but hilarious story of a particularly trying morning for me. It was one of those 8 a.m. Saturday or Sundays, and I walked to Dunkin' Donuts in the cold, and I was coming back, and I think I had bagels, and then I had coffee for Evie instead of a big box of coffee, and I was getting up the stairs, and I was, I think, a good maybe 5 steps away from the top and could see Imogen and Evie's door right in front of me, and I tripped and smushed the styrofoam cup with my hands and dropped it in the stairs, and the coffee was gone.
I remember that.
That day, I showed up and Evie was like, "Oh, did you bring coffee?" And I was like, "I did, but I dropped it."
Yeah, it's literally a testament to how much I like Emma and how much I love her that I wasn't like, She was like, I dropped it. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, do you want me to help clean it up? Whereas if anyone else came up to me and was like, hey, I got you coffee, but then I dropped it, I'd be like, why do you do this?
Yeah, no, Evie and I live off of coffee. We're constantly making it in our room. And for Jules and Monty, I think it was the unofficial sponsor.
I showed up about 3 minutes after Emma dropped the coffee, and I remember walking up the stairwell and like walking into their room and going, "What smells like coffee?" And Emma just going. It was amazing.
Jules and Monty runs on Dunkin'.
I made up for it a different day though when I brought a lot of bagels and a lot of coffee and hot chocolate for those who didn't drink coffee.
That was great.
I
Yeah,
love
that was
that vlog because it was one of my favorite moments.
I love that vlog too because I turn around with just this look of horror, like who is sneaking up on me? I don't have hands to defend myself.
I was charging at you across ice.
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
Okay, well that is the end of episode 5. Thank you for watching.